Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to the Healthy Conscience podcast, where a healthy conscience helps you be health conscious. My name is Lynn Lee, and I'm a registered dietitian.
My name is Vince, and I'm a fellow quarantined individual.
Anyways, one of the things that I've noticed a lot about people talking about recently is, the funny thing. The freshman 15. And then now there's the COVID-19. I'm going to gain that. Not 15, but I'm going to gain 19 pounds. It's not funny.
It's not?
I mean, the way we just said it, or the way I just said it, kind of funny. I don't know.
No, that was like a lot of people posting that, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I'm more active being quarantined.
But I
have more time.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more active than prior to this. But I'm wondering if it's because it's like people rely on being at the gym or being somewhere to do physical activity versus like just doing it at home. And you're so used to practicing in the backyard in the garage, and then you're so used to doing like workouts in the garage, and I'm used to doing that now too versus going somewhere, going to a gym, going to a class or something like that.
True.
So I think a lot of people would rely on doing things like that.
We've been prepping for this pandemic for years.
And then I think the other thing is like people are like, I'm bored, so I'm constantly eating, thinking that, oh my God, I'm eating so much more and all I'm doing is eating and eating and eating. Now, I don't know. I mean, I think it's because we're so used to being somewhere and being at work. Like even for me, when I'm at work, breakfast, I have something already set out. I have something planned. Lunch, I already have something that's set out. I have something planned. Dinner, I have to think about it. But during the weekends when we're home, I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to have for breakfast? Right after breakfast, it's like, what are we going to have for lunch? Oh my God, what are we going to have for dinner? Mm-hmm. So I think it's the constant notion of thinking about cooking and thinking about food and thinking about eating.
I personally think that because of the quarantine, we're actually eating better.
Yeah.
Like, not to say that eating out is bad, but like usually we like to go explore different food and different places. And a lot of times, like, especially if you watch like cooking videos, you'll start to realize how much fat and sugar people put in their cooking. Oh my
gosh, we watched a video yesterday and I haven't eaten this thing before, but this guy kept pouring sugar into his sauce. Yeah. And he kept going and he was like, yep, it's that much sugar. And I was like, oh my God.
And the base of it was cooking wine, which is like
sugar,
like super sugary.
Yeah.
And so it's like cooking wine and more sugar.
And then I don't know, what was it? Like a miso glaze or something, or like a sweet miso glaze?
It was pretty much just like a sugar with a hint of miso.
Yes. I don't know. It just blew my mind looking at this dish. But I think it's the fact that we're cooking at home, so we're able to control a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Able to control how much oil you put into your cooking, how much sugar is put into this item. I feel like we're not holding back on flavor in any way, shape, or form. Because what was it? Pad Thai. I think I made it the other day. It's been a long time since I made Pad Thai. So then we looked up a video and the person in the video was like, this is quote unquote not diet food. And she used a lot of oil. But when I cooked it, I did not use as much oil and it still worked out the exact same way.
Yeah.
So
I feel like a lot of times oil and sugar, I feel like it's definitely necessary in cooking, but sometimes people use it in like a cheater sense. They put like hella fat.
Yeah.
And hella fat is going to taste amazing.
I don't know.
But you kind of sometimes it surpasses like a level that it could be already good. And they just start pounding tons of fat in there.
Yeah, but I think that's over the years I've done better because like being a dietitian for a while, I always was like, oh my God, I can't eat that. But then I realized like I could eat that, but in moderation. Yeah. So when same video, seeing this guy make this sweet miso glazed dish, also made, what was it, mac and potato salad. Oh, yeah. And the ratio of mayonnaise that was in there, I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to eat that
There was like equal amount of mayonnaise to actual contents.
So there was so he did like the macaroni, the potatoes, and it was like a bowl. and then mayo, another whole bowl. And I was like, no way. And then he said it again. He's like, yep, all of this is going in there, all of it. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. That is insane. I think that's why I recently made like some potato salad, like potato olivier. It's a Persian spin on potato salad, but it's with like shredded chicken. Shout out to my friend who introduced us to it, Nicole. But that was something that I struggled with because, first of all, we didn't really have regular mayonnaise. All we had was like the Japanese mayonnaise, the Kewpie mayo.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to use too much of it because I get like kind of nauseous from like very rich foods. So I think that might be why I couldn't make it taste the same.
I personally have never liked mayo by itself. Like,
actually, when I was a kid, I loved mayo.
Oh, really?
It was kind of funny.
I knew this kid in middle school, and I kid you not, he told this big old joke one day about
big old joke. Huh?
He had a big old joke. His stepmom, he kept joking, or we thought he was joking.
Yeah.
He told me how his stepmom got a Best Foods tattoo.
No.
And we thought she was joking, because he didn't like his stepmom. But one day she picked him up from school, and we saw the tattoo. We're like, what?
It was real.
It was a Best Foods tattoo. It was like on her leg right here. It was a jar.
Why though?
I don't. Maybe it kind of seemed like it would be a joke, but she had a Best Foods tattoo.
How old were you?
12.
12. Okay. I'm kind of surprised how you can remember how old you were.
I mean, it was because it was middle school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know like the difference between mayo. People would like swear by like Best Foods versus that people say Miracle Whip is disgusting. And
oh, really? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I haven't experimented with.
I don't really experiment. There's specific things like growing up. I actually really liked mayo as like a kid. I would eat because I really like that rich, thick flavor.
I think it's that fat flavor that like people like it is good. Like in a Vietnamese sandwich, if it doesn't have mayonnaise, it kind of like doesn't taste right.
See, so that's where so growing up we would, now this sounds disgusting maybe to some people, but to me it was amazing. Like a hot dog with mayonnaise.
Oh yeah.
And then like it was so good with the mayo. And then like what else was there? Vietnamese sandwiches. I don't make it all the time, but when I do make it, I do have that mayo in it. And then the combination. So if you know Vietnamese sandwich and you know Vietnamese food, there's this thing called jalo. Jalo mixed with mayo and soy sauce. It's like heaven.
Oh, and then with the sandwich. Pate and the butter.
Okay, yes. So I would like, when we wouldn't have the baguette, I would just do like sliced bread, toast it, slap some mayonnaise on there, a little bit of soy sauce on there, and then just slap a couple of slices of the jalo on it. And that was like my sandwich. And it was like the best. I still think of it right now.
So the conclusion is that mayo makes things taste better.
But maybe.
In excess, not so much.
Yes. But back to our topic a little bit about that whole like the freshman 15. So the only reason why I know a little bit about we did research about the freshman 15 back in like college.
You did?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Freshman 15, for those who don't know, because I didn't really know what it was until people started talking about it and it was explained to me, is like as soon as you hit freshman year of college, you gain 15 pounds. And so some people took that literally and really truly believed it and went with this mentality of, oh, whatever, fork it, I'm going to gain the weight, so might as well.
Yeah.
So they're like, I'm going to gain the 15 pounds. The notion is because when you go to college, you move out of your house, you have a little bit more of food freedom from your parents. Yeah. So it's like you get to choose whatever you eat. Now there's not someone over there saying you got to eat your veggies kind of thing, or you got to eat X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So now people are just like, oh, I'm going to eat this burger and that's all I'm going to eat. And on top of that, food freedom. And some of the individuals don't know how to cook. So they have to eat what is available.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, they like will strictly rely on like fast food or instant
Or
type
easy
food.
foods. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like most of it is just super fat heavy.
So I think like what you were saying about metabolism, I think some people thought it was metabolism,
Uh-huh.
but it's not. It's related more so to a change in the eating pattern and lifestyle.
I know also like kids that go to like UC schools or schools that have like a
Dining card?
cafeteria, dining card.
Or dining.
It's like a buffet. It's like
Oh, yes.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner is a buffet. So like, especially if you like grew up and like look forward to buffets like myself, my brother used to like swipe me in, and then like we would just go like we'd stay in there for like 4 hours and just eat.
And it's funny. Can you tell us about like when you would go to the buffet and then get like kicked out pretty much?
Oh well, that only happened.
And you're like the thinnest person.
That only happened once. Though.
Oh, okay.
Buffets were like a treat for us, and so we'd look forward to it, and we'd have like eating competitions between my brothers, and then also like I think when my grandparents would take us to hometown buffet on senior discount day,
Oh.
so we'd go there and we'd have eating contests, and like who could eat the most, and so we'd literally have like these plates like piled up bigger than our heads of food, and we'd try to finish it.
What kind of food was it?
It's buffet food.
Oh.
Like whatever they have, like, you know, hometown buffet,
Yeah,
Sizzler, Fresh Choice.
Didn't you say like one time like you went to like a sushi place and they did all you can eat, but then they stopped you after a while?
Oh no, it was a pizza place.
Pizza place.
There's this pizza place on Fair Oaks Boulevard. I forget the
okay.
name of it, but
So in Sacramento.
I don't think it's open anymore. But
Oh, because you wiped them out.
I think so. We were like in high school, and they get you pizza by the plate. Right, so you go up to the thing. The pizzas are all on plates. You grab it.
Whole like pizza.
No, they're just slices.
Okay.
So each slice you get it, and there's like four of us there. Each of us has 20 plates stacked up, and then the guy came up to us like, "Okay, that's enough. It's time to go."
So who was it? It was you, Kurt, and
two of our skating friends.
Oh my gosh, skating friends.
So we go skating in like around the neighborhood, and we'd stop there. It was like, and it was cheap. It was $5.
Oh my gosh,
a $5 buffet. I
No
think it might have
wonder why.
increased to like $7 after we went there, but it was like a cheap buffet, and we stacked up 20 pieces each.
So I think like buffets were also a treat for me growing up, but then it wasn't with my parents. It was like, I think the first time I ever went to a buffet was with my sister. I think this was her first job that I can remember. It was at Hometown Buffet.
Oh snap!
Yeah, but she worked there, and then she would talk about all these like foods from there, and then it was fun to go to buffets because you get to try a little bit of everything. And then it's like, ooh, I want a little bit of this. Ooh, I want a little bit of this. And then they make like desserts and make things look so attractive at buffets.
Like on display?
Yeah. Like I feel like the foods, or maybe the more recent ones that we've gone to, the last few ones, they make things look so nice.
I noticed like, I mean, it wasn't until recently that I've ever been to a Las Vegas buffet, but they make it look super glamorous.
That was like probably the last buffet we've gone to, and that was a very glamorous looking buffet, and I just kept wanting to eat.
But you know what? Not trying to be a hater, but no matter what buffet I went to, like the desserts, they were never that great, except for the soft serve.
Okay, I mean it's soft serve.
Yeah,
It's pretty standard.
yeah.
But yes.
But the brownies, the cakes.
That's what I was gonna say. They make it look so attractive, but when you actually eat it, it's like,
yeah, it tastes like bread.
Bread.
Like chocolate bread.
I didn't like it. It was like sweet, but like no texture, no other real good flavor, no smoothness.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which is surprising because you would think in Las Vegas it'd be super good.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's like one of those things where they just make it attractive. So a hack at buffets is I just get like the fruit, or I do get like some kind of baked good, and then I put the soft serve on top of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like a homemade treat, kind of.
Sure. But like students going to dining halls, I remember like in college, there were students that would just go to the dining hall, swipe in once, and stay there all day, like study, eat
Oh, yeah.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. I'm like,
That's
oh
what we
my
used to do
gosh, that's smart.
at UC Davis. We used to go to UC Davis because my brother went there,
Uh-huh.
and we would sneak into the what's the place where you work out?
The grad?
The
No,
grad? No,
I don't remember.
whatever it was. Him and his friends would be walking down the hallway, and one of them would push one of them into the door, the emergency exit,
Yeah.
and the door would open. Like 10 dudes would be waiting there. We'd all run in. We'd run into the bathroom, step on a toilet seat, and we just wait there. Security guards would come in, look for us, and then they leave, and then we'd go practice.
Oh my goodness.
And then after that, we would go to the dining hall to eat.
Is this for real though? This sounds like a scene from a movie or a show or something.
This is real. We would do this like once a week because there's just limited places for us to practice.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, we weren't causing any trouble. Like we actually were going there. And we were teaching kids how to dance. So, but we'd have to break in to teach kids how to dance.
Oh my goodness, I don't remember.
But then like my brother would take us to the dining hall because he had all these swipes, but I guess he didn't use it.
Yeah.
So he'd swipe us all in and we get food there.
Yeah, I remember like my friends that I didn't know Kurt at the time, but I remember my friends would be like, "Oh, I have extra swipes. You want to come?" And I didn't understand this terminology because I didn't live on campus.
Oh yeah.
I did not like people rave about going to Davis, rave about going to UC Davis. So I turned 18. I got what is it, admitted? Is that the word?
I think so.
I got accepted.
Administered.
I got accepted into UC Davis, and that was the school that my parents, like dream school. I went there, but then I lived off campus. So I did not have the typical like experience because supposedly the rumor was in our community was that when you go to UC Davis, you're supposed to live on campus. It's required. Yada, yada, yada. But I didn't do that. I lived off campus. I drove onto campus and went home.
How'd you get around that? I thought it was a rule.
See, I don't know. I have no idea. See, you even think it's a rule. I got around it somehow, but I did not have a good experience. So maybe that's why people are like kind of required or made to seem like they need to stay on campus because I lived off campus and I didn't like that school.
Yeah.
I mean, that school's amazing, but I still to this day have like PTSD every time I'm like, ugh, UC Davis. No offense to it in any way, shape, or form because it's amazing. But I think it was my experience.
It's probably just like the kids that you met or people that are around you. Like you just can't there's like so many people when you go to a college that you just can't relate to.
Yeah, so I think that's what it was because I was a girl from Stockton, born and raised, and this was the first like place I moved out to, first people I meet outside of my city, and they were all like interesting. Like I can't explain, like I didn't feel like they were really themselves.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they were still discovering who they were. Not to say that I wasn't doing that, but a lot of times I felt like, oh, that's what's cool to do. Okay, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, and I'm over here like, that's not that cool.
So they were fake.
Yeah, to me. But I think that was kind of where it was. And then a lot of the individuals that I met, I couldn't relate with because I think there was like a socioeconomic difference between us. Like I grew up here and they would be like, oh, you grew up in Stockton. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like to me, it didn't mean anything. It just meant that's where I'm from. I didn't know that there was anything else to it. And people would like react a certain way to me. And then I think on top of that, I had a really bad experience when I didn't understand certain like things that they were talking about. Cause like, I remember I took like some kind of really weird class, but it was like like comparative literature or something, but it was like middle times something. I can't remember. Anyways, everything had really weird names. Nothing made sense. I, at that time, did not understand what a pun meant.
Yeah.
Now, I love puns. But at the
you
age
love
of
puns?
Yes, I do. It's very punny to me.
Oh, my goodness.
But at the age of 18, I was never exposed to what pun meant and the definition of it. And asking questions about it to my professor, she made me feel like I was so stupid. So from there, I turned around and just couldn't anymore. Yeah.
So you couldn't relate to the teachers either.
I couldn't relate to the teachers either. It was very difficult because they would say things that didn't make sense to me. Like one time, one of the professors in the front of the class was like, something, McDonald's. Yeah, I went to McDonald's. And I'm like, what's wrong with going to McDonald's? I always go to McDonald's. But I didn't get that. So like that was how much of a disconnect I had with that city. Davis is a very, how would you describe Davis?
It's a hippie city.
Hippy dippy city. Nothing.
Hippy dippy cow tipping.
Oh, yes. Can't really explain any other way, shape, or form. But apparently Davis's McDonald's was one of the first McDonald's that ever closed, is what I was told as a fact.
Oh, really?
Something funny like that. But I don't know how accurate that is.
Did I ever tell you how I almost got recruited into a Korean fraternity at UC Davis?
I think so.
It was funny because like me and my friend literally went to a party there.
Huh?
And then like, I guess they thought we were cool or something. So then they invited us to like 2 other parties. And the first one, it was like they were adding new members.
Uh-huh.
And then they're like asking, hey, you guys wanna join? And we're like, we don't go here. Like we go to American River College. And like we go to community college.
Which is down like city over.
And they're like, oh, it's cool, bro. Don't you want to be our little bro? I was like,
yeah, I don't understand that
good.
language.
The third was the awkward one because the third party, it was like an acceptance party, like where new members were like, they're congratulating them. And it was kind of like as if like they were upset that we didn't accept.
What?
Because it was awkward because they're like, yeah, come be our little bro. It'll only cost, $300 every couple months. I'm like,
I ain't got no money, homie.
I gotta pay to be your little brother? I don't understand. And at this point, I didn't even know what a fraternity was. Yeah. So they're just like, yeah, be our little bro. It's only $300. We'll give you a discount, 50% off, $150.
I don't understand any of that stuff. Like I didn't grow up knowing what it was either.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand now because they do stuff together.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's like I don't know, Boy Scouts, like college bonding. Boy Scouts.
Yeah. At that age, I was never really exposed to it. And so going to school there and not living on campus, again, I wasn't exposed to that culture.
Yeah.
So I didn't know, I didn't get it. And I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Now I get it. Like
now I get it.
They like help each other out, get into, I don't know.
It's
jobs.
Like early on networking.
Yeah.
And it's like building bonds that you can't really just build by having class with people in general education.
I think in my mind back then, I was just like, I was so fixated on like, why am I paying to be your friend?
Yeah.
But now I get it. Like,
it makes sense.
You're creating network experiences that could last forever.
So it's pretty nice. I feel like it is a wonderful experience and would have been nice to experience that.
And I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, I couldn't afford it. That was not part of it.
And they weren't trying to give me a scholarship.
So back to this whole COVID-19. That means I'm going to gain 19 pounds after this quarantine thing. Mm-hmm. Like parts of it, I get that it's kind of a joke, but it really adds to like the diet culture and image culture and like making people kind of feel crappy about themselves. Like,
what do you mean by that?
Like the whole like, because people are like, oh my gosh, does that mean I'm going to gain 19 pounds? Like does it adds to diet culture because it puts a negative connotation to it. Mm-hmm. It puts like something negative where it's like, I'm going to gain weight, meaning I'm going to look less attractive, meaning I'm going to be less worthy because the way X, Y, and Z said it was like a joke, meaning that it's not cool to gain weight.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're making a joke about
weight gain,
gaining weight and being less attractive.
Pretty much. So gaining weight does not mean you're less attractive in any way, shape, or form. Gaining weight can also mean healthy.
Yeah.
It does mean healthy. It doesn't always mean bad.
Yeah. And I noticed too, like there was like those like workout challenges, which I think was cool because it's keeping people
active,
physically active. Mm-hmm. But then you also see the people who like become obsessive
Yes.
about it, where they're like, oh, I just ate a cookie. Now I got to hit 20 push-ups or else
Yeah.
I'm going to get fat. I'm going to get that 19 pounds.
See, it adds to that train of thought. Like
Yeah.
we're maybe because me and you were like more exposed to this, like we're desensitized to culture, like diet culture.
Yeah.
So we're able to kind of like sort it out and be like, okay, that's a joke that they're trying to say.
Yeah.
But then I feel like people who aren't aware of diet culture and aren't aware of like and aren't confident about their own body and their own self-image, I feel like it actually causes damage to them.
Yeah.
Why?
I think like a lot of people don't, they still, even to this day, they still don't understand the like problem with like body image issues
Yeah.
and like how toxic some joke could be to them.
Yeah, why don't we just like kind of like how people, I've also heard, this is probably a little more sensitive, but I keep hearing, oh, I'm going to be an alcoholic by the time this ends. How do you feel an actual recovering alcoholic feels about hearing you say that?
Yeah.
Like, really? This is like the same thing with body image issues. Body image issues are not maybe as obvious as like being an alcoholic, but everyone has probably gone through it or are going through it.
Yeah.
So adding to it by saying, oh, I'm going to gain weight, ha ha ha, it's not that funny.
Yeah. Usually the people that the more obvious issues or symptoms that I'm seeing is like people will be like look at themselves in the mirror and then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly.
Oh
like
my God.
based on like them gaining a little bit of weight.
Uh-huh.
It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I feel like I'm for the individuals that are like working out to maintain their health,
Yeah.
to reach optimal health, to continue to be healthy and be like well balanced in their life versus the people who are like, oh my God, I'm eating too much and I'm not going to work. So I'm not even being that active. So now I have to force myself to work out to compensate for eating.
Yeah.
That in itself, that is a bad cycle to be in.
I feel like we live in such a backwards culture.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in a realistic sense, like eating is the route to being healthy or one route to being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people treat it as like, oh, I'm eating and it's making me unhealthy.
Yeah. So one of the things that I noticed recently is that I still am seeing a lot of my patients and then they feel, and when I talk to them, I mean, across the board, when I talk to patients, usually they'll have like this kind of guilt-driven kind of thing when they start to talk to a dietitian.
Oh, yeah.
And for the most part, a lot of these patients I'm meeting still for the first time around, but they'll be like, oh, the dietitian, I got to sit up straight. I got to make sure I tell her this is what I'm eating. This is what I'm doing. But in actuality, I am not judging you for what you're eating. I'm trying to help you find a way to develop more nutrient dense lifestyle of eating.
Yeah.
But in a sense, I've been getting patients who are like, well, because of this, like as soon as I ask, how has managing your nutrition been? How has it been? They're like, oh, because of this like COVID-19 stuff, I've been like eating bad. And I'm like, hold on, what are you eating? And then they start telling me and I'm like, you know what? In this time, eat to survive.
Yeah.
Honestly, eat to survive. If you're capable of finding those fresh produce, buy it and eat it. If you're capable of finding any kind of vegetable right now or fruit or whatever, buy it and eat it. If you can't, so be it.
Yeah.
This is for the time being. You're still making an effort to try to maintain your normal lifestyle, but if you can't, you can't. Right now, we're trying to survive. We're trying to keep each other alive.
Yeah.
So why fixate on how you're going to be like, oh, I got to maintain my figure during this time?
We live in such a backwards society when it comes to anything in relationship to food.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I there's certain things I'll understand, like fast food, like certain fast foods are super fat dense and if you eat it every single day, sure, it could cause some issues, but like you like going to In-N-Out Burger once in a while is not going to kill you. You going to McDonald's once in a while is not going to kill you.
That's not going to be the reason why you die.
You know what it is? All those stupid doctors and...
It's okay, let's not say that. But yeah.
I mean, I don't mean stupid doctors, but stupid fake doctors and stupid pseudoscientists. That's what I mean. All those stupid pseudoscientists and documentaries about those pseudoscientists, like basically saying like, if you eat this, you're going to get cancer and die and blah, blah, blah. And they're not really relating like why that would happen. They're just saying like this equals cancer. Now people like literally see like a burger as cancer, or they see like pizza, cancer.
Yeah.
And that's what their eyes see.
Literally that. Like everyone sees that. Geez, cancer. Like, no, it's not cancer.
Yeah.
It's like everything in moderation. If I sit here and what's the most purest thing you can think of?
Like food?
Yeah. Food, drink, water. Water. If I sit here and just drink water and that's it, I would probably die.
Yep.
If I sit here and eat only goji berries, that's the new superfood, right? That's the first thing I can think of. If I sat here and only ate goji berries, I'd probably die.
You'd probably go crazy.
Yeah, probably go crazy and then die. In general, right now, the importance is to support each other and survive and actually make it through this. What else can we do? Like, seriously.
But I also at the same time, I think in a like I know there's a lot of like negative things going on in the world. I'd have noticed that as a society, a lot of people, at least what I've seen, are coming together a little bit more during this situation instead of like trying to bash on each other.
What do you mean?
You know, people that are like constantly like in arguments or debates with each other. I noticed that a lot of them are a little bit less aggressive towards each other.
Good.
And it's like a little bit like people are coming together, like checking in on each other. How are you doing? Versus like, hey, your opinion's wrong and mine's right.
Yeah. Because right now we're in such like uncertain times and nothing is like set in stone. One day you're allowed to wear masks. One day you're not allowed to wear masks. The next day we have a ton of masks. The next day we have no mask. And then the day after that, it's like everyone's required to wear a mask everywhere.
We're going to arrest you without that mask.
Actually, I think I've heard. Well, I don't know what I've heard.
I saw some article, but I can't trust the internet anymore.
Yeah, right now it's like, oh, my friend told me this.
Yeah.
My friend's friend has a friend who works for a friend.
I feel like that's like daily, like current day media.
Yeah. But
my friend's friend's friend told me that guy got arrested for not wearing a mask. Let me just find a picture of a guy not wearing a mask. Okay, there.
There. That's my friend's friend's friend. So actually, it's my friend's uncle, if that cuts it a little bit more.
Twice removed.
But I think the biggest thing right now is like talking about nutrition and talking about your health. Just try to focus on what you can do and how you can like improve yourself. I've seen a lot of like friends who post, I've seen friends who done this. These are my actual friends, not just friends of friends. But I've seen friends who post themselves like doing a workout or like just cooking and doing things and posting about food in a neutral manner.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I got to do this because I ate too much, or, oh, I got to eat all these vegetables because I ate too much pork belly earlier. Yeah. I don't know. But it's kind of like posting neutral, like just like giving each other ideas. I don't know if people realize this, but when they post food, it gives me ideas to cook.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. Someone posted pad thai the other day and I was like, I ran out of ideas to cook. Now I'm going to cook pad thai.
That's another positive thing I'm seeing right now is I like that so many people are cooking.
Yeah.
Like there's like a Facebook group of people cooking stuff right now. Even though some of it doesn't really look that great. It's actually kind of inspirational.
A lot of not so great looking food probably tastes amazing.
I'm like, oh, that looks like it could be good. I will make it.
Yeah. So in this time being, instead of fixating on, oh my, all of the what ifs, what if I gain this much weight? What if this happens? What if that happens? What do I need to do to prevent all of this X, Y, and Z? Focus on something that you can better yourself.
Yeah.
And be neutral about it. Like,
focus on something that makes you happy.
Focus on something that makes you happy. For Vince, it's dancing.
It is?
I think so. Cooking.
Dancing and cooking.
Dancing and cooking. Dancing around the kitchen and cooking. For me, what makes me happy? I think crafting makes me happy, but then getting messy and making a hot mess frustrates me. So I don't know.
Really?
Really?
So when you when you're cooking and then you leave all the dishes there for
Yeah,
me
I
to
got
clean
you.
up, that's what makes you happy.
Anyways, find what makes you happy in this time being. Eat what you can that is going to keep you nourished. Don't focus on, oh my God, I'm going to gain 19 pounds. Forget that. Let that slide. Let that go. Because right now, focus on what you could eat to survive. Keep yourself safe. Wash your hands. Keep social distancing. Come on. I want this pandemic to end. I want to go to the beach.
Yes, me too.
I want to go somewhere. I need a vacation. Vince and I have not gone on a vacation in nearly 2 years, and I need to go on a vacation.
I go on a vacation every time I wake up.
Oh, dear. All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Healthy Conscience I can't even say it. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Conscience podcast. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Also, don't forget to say, okay, Google, or hey, Alexa, play the Healthy Conscience podcast.
Oh, snap, because they'll do it for you.
Yep.
Yup.
It's that cool.
Kind of cool. Anyways, have a lovely day.
And don't forget to brush your teeth.